everybody. It's been a while since I actually built something in Rust. I think it's been years since I can have something that I can call the hJune base. I think today I cooked up something that a lot of you guys might be very interested in. This base is not for everybody. This is for only a very specific type of individual, maybe someone that shares the same kind of playstyle as me. I don't really know what to call this base. We're bringing almost everything back, but with floor stacking and with some cringe things that might or might not get you rated. And that's the whole goal here. Those of you in the comment section, maybe you guys can help me name this base. So let's do a quick tour and then I'll teach you guys the fundamentals on how to build it. And this base design video is not actually the super meta, like cinematic base design videos that you see on YouTube. I'm going to build it in a way where it's very easy to understand. I think it's important to know, okay, when should I upgrade? When should I make things high qual? When should I put doors down? When should I put peaks down? Like, it's very important that every single resource that you use on your base actually makes a difference. Tell me what you guys think, but from the outside, it looks like shit. That's the whole point. But I actually think this is probably the strongest base, pound for pound, strongest base for offline rate defense and online rate defense while looking shitty from the outside. But honestly, this is like the min-max version. You don't have to do this at all. My whole philosophy is I want to build as fast as possible to an online defendable state. So if I kill AKs, they come raid me, I can actually defend the base. That is probably gonna take maybe a box of stone, and that's pretty much it. Starting out, we're gonna go to the front door. There are no externals, but if you look at this from the top, it just looks like a standard like 2 triangle core base. Don't worry, this is not a Wilgem core video. It's actually a 2x1 start, the most basic starter base. When you come over here to the front, you are greeted with one more layer. So this base is actually minimum 4 to 6 walls to the core. What is that? 24 plus 15 rockets just to get to the core. But the great thing about this base is not only is it really hard to get to the core, but to get all the loot and to get all the bedrooms, it takes a ton of rockets. So if you come in, you see depot boxes all around here. Every single part of the base is segmented. It's segmented into actually like 16 parts. The reason why you segment the base with doors is because if they blow through one part of the base, you don't want them to have like a 360-degree access around your entire like peaks or window floor. You want to make them blow doors if they want to actually get to where you are. Like, you kill someone, you loot their rockets, and then you go through a door, and now you're long gone. In each of the corners, there's bedrooms here. I put the oil refinery here by extending the foundation out. Let's just do a little tour all the way around. There's one turret here. I'll show that later, but there's another bedroom here. This is the other entrance. There's 2 entrances to here. So this is basically the other side. There's turret here, and there's turret here. There's a bunker here. And there's another bunker here. This is actually a double bunker and a single bunker. So it's one on each side. One's gonna be high qual, one's gonna be metal. This base design is designed with a mindset that you're not gonna have blueprints. This is a snowball base. You're trying to not farm too much, maybe farm with 1 Jackie, like 1 or 2 farm runs, and then you'll be able to online raid defense, and then you just hop off. So this bunker works like this. So from here, you can go 1 here and 1 here. So this one would be high qual, this one would be metal, and you'd be like, what the hell? Where is the entrance to this base? Like, where's the core? Like, a lot of people, if they don't know floor stacking, this doesn't look like a floor stacked base from the outside. It just looks like someone built this base from a 2015 base tutorial. But this is actually floor stacked. So if you come out here and put a roof, so you basically do this, and then you come over here, and both of these are broken. Same with this side. You can come over here, boom. Okay, now we're gonna destroy this. Boom, and that's broken. The great thing about this bunker in particular is that it's so easy to use while you're actually playing. A lot of the times I get roam raided. They would come when I am like 5 grids or 10 grids away. And this, you can easily just put 1 metal thing here before you leave the base, and then just go, and then come back, and then you just come back. There'd be like a box with a building plan in here, and then do this. And with like 75 metal, you added 8 rocket protection to your base while you're roaming. So you can even do, it's not just something that you do while you're offline. It could be something that you can use while playing the actual server. The only thing that I would say is, it's not required, but it's really nice to have, is the Frontier DLC. This is probably the most compact 2x1 design that you can ever have. This is the most loot that you can fit in your base. So basically, like, you don't have to jump. The mobility in this base is really, really good. I put a large battery here for like early game, like electric furnaces, if you learn them. This is also a DLC. You don't actually need this, but honestly, putting your jackhammers here so you have tools on this, it doesn't clutter your boxes. It's actually really nice. Okay, while the turrets are on, I can actually show you something really cool. So you can actually put a turret right here. So these doorways, there's 4 on each side. This is going to be one of those things where I wasn't sure if I wanted to show it, because if people do this again, I showed this many times before, like in the past, but not a lot of people do it anymore. But this thing is insane. Like, you just put a silencer, you put campfires here, you have these low walls, and from the outside, if you're like up here, you can't even tell. I don't know if you're gonna get shot. Yeah, you get shot by this. Dude, like, you can put turrets here and just have like 360 coverage of your compound or base. And from the outside, it doesn't look like there's any turrets on the roof. Doesn't look like there's any turrets around. You could even not have this and just put a bunch of like solar panels so it looks not suspicious. But yeah, these things are crazy. Boom. They can't see you from outside. It's gonna be really hard for them. You just put a silencer on. You just kill a few people like this. They're like, what the hell? Or you get they get killed by turrets. And we can easily go here. Boom. Coverage this side. And then boom, just get back in. So this is the way out. You kind of need a ladder for this for endgame, but you will find the ladder by the time you get to this point. Go to the 3rd floor, and this is where things get spicy, guys. So this can be another battery if you want it, like a backup battery. This place is just segmented bedrooms galore. So because it's floor stacked, not only is the ceiling floor stacked, chances are you are not gonna buy a SAM site. You're not gonna be able to afford one. Plus, it's not worth your scrap. If you get MLRS, it's GG's in a lot of bases. But this one, you're gonna have 2 metals that the MLRS is gonna have to go through. It will not be going through unless you're getting sieged. We have bedrooms in every single compartment. We have 1 bedroom here, another bedroom here, 1 bedroom here, another 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 bedroom here. Like, it's just in every single spot. So you will never, ever lose control over your peak downs. And if you have like 8 people, every single person is gonna have 2 bedrooms. But yeah, basically, if the raiders start raiding from like the front door, they would be met with front door gone. Now it's this. And as soon as you enter the front door, you can actually get shot by the peaks here. From the top, you can actually see. Boom. They only have this angle. Like, they have to blow this, and then now they have control over this area. They can't do that, so they have to blow this door. They go through this. Now they're segmented by this door and also this door, and now they can't cross. They only have this area, so you can kind of focus them from like here, from the bedroom here. You can do it from like over here, like through this. You're just trying to make it so that when you're defending, you have the advantage and the raiders don't, and just kind of like zone them from different parts of your base. So yeah, that's pretty much the base. Fundamentally, it's not too complicated. It's also really hard for people to ladder up, especially if you have a turret up top. All right, so how do we build this thing at the start of the wipe? A lot of floor stacking requires, or a lot of complex builds require a lot of starter foundations, and I don't want to spend more than like 5 seconds or 10 seconds trying to find a spot to build and setting up foundations. What's most important is how fast can you make a starter base that's gonna keep you secure. I'm building on a super flat area, so it's gonna be a lot easier for me to build all this. Just keep in mind, your area is not gonna be always flat everywhere. So you wanna be mindful about where you're gonna place the final like starter like 2x1 using the floor stack method. So the floor stack method actually comes from putting 2 square foundations as close to the floor as possible, and then putting a ramp, a low ramp right here. Get to this rock, that's on the twig foundation. And from the lowest point, you're gonna put it up a little bit where the bottom of the foundation is now showing a little bit above. And from here, you're standing. And while you're standing, you're gonna place this foundation, and then you're gonna not move the mouse and crouch. And then you're gonna go press D, go all the way to right. And as soon as you can connect the two foundations like this, boom, you're done. So obviously you can like spear this out, but once you do that, you'll find that the building block kind of like screws you over. So what you're actually gonna do is you're gonna use the low foundation here to quickly make a 2x1, and then come to the middle here, upgrade these two, and then place the doorway, and then just move your mouse around and place the walls. And from this one spot, you can place all of these just like that. And then start with you want to have the doorway or the door in the hotbar. And once you upgrade this, immediately put the door down and put a key lock. And then you can go around, start with the walls, upgrade the stone. Now you're secure, no one can raid you, but you have to place the TC down. So we're actually gonna use a trick. Hard side of stone walls is actually less hitbox than the soft side. So we're gonna utilize that, make this whole place a little bit bigger, and place the TCs and the horizontal frontier boxes in a way where we can fit more boxes in a place where there would only be one box. So we're gonna go to the corner here, put it as close to that wall as possible, like that, on the sideways, on the wall that the doorway's at. And then we're gonna come here. This is also kind of weird because if you see this armor plating thing on the box, that has to be facing left. And while it's facing left, you're gonna go close to the TC as possible and start placing these boxes like that. And then if you do it right, you should be able to place, oh, oops. You should be able to place this box as well. We'll make do with that. And then we place these right here. Boom. Boom. Obviously, you're not going to have 4 boxes, but what I like to do is I like to farm enough wood and metal, maybe from outposts or like recycling, so I can make 2 frontier boxes, so I can set up the 2x1. And once you place these 2 boxes, you can actually flip these. Now, I would just use like a wooden double door or something with a key lock, and secure myself an airlock, just like that. And once you have the TC, only then can you demolish. And this is really important. We're trying to keep this foundation and turn it into a square. So we're gonna come here, get the lower foundation, destroy that, put a placeholder, destroy the triangle one, replace it with a square, upgrade. Now we're gonna go back to the 2x1, and from here, this is where we put the lower foundations to honeycomb the entire thing. And this thing is what we're gonna use for the conditional bunker to make this floor stack work. This is kind of unnecessary, but I really recommend building as low to the ground as possible so that this is possible. We're actually gonna make the outer ring 1/2 step higher. It's just so that since this is gonna be honeycomb like this from the top, just having full walls there, it's gonna be uniform. So from here, we're gonna make the second floor. So this is also optional. This is only if you want to have a way to defend your base early game. If you do this, you can defend the base from a 2x1. So from here, we're gonna upgrade everything. And if we have the doorway facing outwards like that, we can place a box as close to the corner right here, like that, so that we can like crouch and go up here. We can use the doorway to get to the second floor, so we don't need a ladder. And usually you use furnaces, but because of this floor frame, it's a little bit tight. So this is why we use this method. It also requires no BPs. So from here, I would just straight up make a doorway like that. Later on, this is gonna be all floor stacked like this, or honeycombs. And then it's also gonna have this thing. But as you can see, this is a 1.5 step drop. And it's really annoying having to do this jump every single time. So I would definitely recommend just leaving this part open and then just playing off this for now. A door like that. Next thing you probably want to do is get enough metal to upgrade the top. If you have high qual, just make it high qual right away. Come over here. Upgrade the foundations. And just honeycomb. The reason why we have this floor foundation a little bit higher is because we can't put the roof here if there is a wall. And we need that roof to destroy if we make this. We need this roof so that it will change the stability of this floor and break our stability bunker just like that. So we're gonna come over here and put this in. And as you can see, sometimes this actually works depending on how tight your floor stacking is. But rule of thumb is you always want to place the floor above it first, and then you should be able to place this one like that. This one's not that important, but basically you just want to go around, honeycomb everything. Okay, everything's honeycombed. That's great. We have this thing. We can already do this, and now we have a way to plug up our base already. So honestly, you can already log off just like this, and it would be an 8 rocket raid. Just make this metal. The reason why I showed this thing here, it's actually kind of useless to have something like this here, because if you have this and try using the conditional thing, it'll stay. So it actually is not a bunker. But let's say you're getting raided, you don't have the top set up yet, or they broke this to get in. And now they broke this, they're trying to get into your base, and they can just go down. You can just from here, make something like that, go like here, and like have this nasty peak, and shoot at their feet. You could even make like a sign and then put it right here so that you can only see their feet and they won't be able to see you. So from here, my next step would probably be putting the outer ring. I wouldn't even bother upgrading this part. I would actually just make the ring so that my base is bigger and I have a ways to like defend my base. So I'll go over here. Usually what people would do is they would create this kind of foundations so that this thing is left over. But what we're actually going to do is we're trying to make the least amount of foundations possible while having the most layers into our core. So how we're going to do that? Place one triangle, placeholder, square, and then another square. And as you can see, it's going to make this nice little like ribbon. And that's what we're going to use to have 4 walls to our core. Break that. The 2x1 is going to be all lower foundations. And we're going to use these foundations here to have all the outside foundations a higher one. So from here, we're just going to do this, add that, same thing here, boom, that, boom. And from here, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Lower foundation here, and then the half walls. You have to make these half walls or else this conditional bunker is not going to work. They're kind of hard to upgrade. Honestly, that doesn't need to be upgraded. What you could do is you could also do something like this. From here, we want to make sure that this one is a higher foundation here. Now we can use this. Finish the rest of the foundations. Boom. And from here, as you can see, the foundations of this entire base is now finished. So what's next? So this is completely optional. Those cringe peaks that I showed, you don't have to do that. If you want to do it though, you want to make sure that these walls are doorways all the way over here. I'm actually going to show like a really cheap version of this base so that you can kind of tell. You saw what a min-max version looks like. So I'm just going to use like what I would use maybe like to snowball on a normal day. So I can make this metal now if I get enough. I will probably wait. And then I'll just make like this height wall, boom, and then this metal. If I were like snowballing and I didn't really care too much, I would probably just stop it at this. So we're gonna go ahead and use these. What's really important here is you want to face the doorway on the opposite side of this vulnerable spot. This is probably the most vulnerable spot of the entire base, because if they break this armored wall, they are in to your core basically, and you can't honeycomb this. So what you want to do is you want to make it as many doors as possible. So it's going to be like this and this. One garage door, one doorway, one garage door, and then they'll be able to access it. And you can put like a window here. So yeah, I'll just start out going like this, going all the way around the base, and then upgrading it. And then obviously here would also be a way out. I'll just do it the opposite way of the other side. Boom. And then just do this, just do that. Make like wooden window bars at least. I would just put wooden window bars. I'm assuming that you won't have BPs yet. If you manage to find beds, and if you think you're going to get raided, and you have a few extra kits that you can, you know, put inside boxes, then I would just start out by making this first. You want to alternate between the direction of the doorways. So if I faced the doorway this way, south, then I want to face it the other way. So it goes around in a circle, if that makes sense. And then from here, you can put like, I don't know, like one box here. And then if you have bed, you place a bed down. And if you don't have a bed, you can just place a sleeping bag so that you have extra spawns like that. And then now these are your like your early game places you can like even hide if you're getting raided, or you have places you can like depot really fast, or it's somewhere that you can spawn if they raid your core. Just like that. So what is next? I would probably still not upgrade my 2x1, and I would just go all the way around like this if I had more stone, to just make this so that we force people to use ladders if they want to actually get inside to our base. Boom. Just like that. And then once that's done, from the outside it looks like this. You basically have a ring already, and in order for people to go up, they have to use like one or two ladders. So now I feel like it's a good time to start building the base. We're actually gonna do the honeycombing now. The honeycombing is like this. We still don't have to like wall this in or anything, because it's gonna be really annoying with these doors. So I'll just leave this open. You can upgrade that. And then the doorways would actually go like that. And you can make this like honeycombing or something to make it level. So from here, we would be making the next bunker. So to make the next bunker, just do this. You check that you can't place this. You can't, so you want to place this first. And then come down here, place that. You want to make it the opposite side to place the floor frame here, so that if you want to make the bunker like this, to open it, they would have to go as many doorways as possible to open both of these. And then you would just put like wooden storage boxes, stuff like this. Boom. And then this is already a loot room that you can use. Just like that. And then before you actually like do it though, I would go like here. Boom. Too close to half wall. So maybe before you even place this, I'll just make a doorway like that just to access it. And then from here, you can come here and then upgrade this. Boom, like that. Like this. Boom, boom, and come out here. This could be like, this is probably gonna be the way up. this. And then this one, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to make another bunker here. We can just go out here. Place that. And then this could be also either another loot room or another window. So from here, I wouldn't actually add to the 2x1 anymore. What I would do is I wouldn't use my stone to do honeycombing here yet. I would actually just start making the third floor, the third and final floor. So we do one more stone up here. Boom. Like that. As you can see, we now surpassed a box of stone. Actually, wait. Is it a box of stone now? I don't think it's a box of stone. I think box of stone is like much more. We're surpassed like 37k now. But if you have a jackhammer, it's so easy to farm stone. From here, what are we gonna do? So we want to make an airlock for our front door, obviously. Outside is probably gonna be hard to jump in, so we're gonna place like a twig here. If you want a spot for the refinery, you have to add something like this here. Like that, and then not add this, because this is going to be the spot that you place the refinery. Like that. And the refinery acts as a foundation, so they can't just like squeeze through the bottom. So if you want a spot like that, just place a foundation out on one of the sides. But we're gonna add wall frames right here. Boom, boom, like that. We can cover that up. Now that's a proper airlock. If we go like this, and then another one over here. And we are going to do wall frames here, like that. We're trying to make use of our resources as efficiently as possible. So I'll just start out with this one. This one's probably the most important one. And then from here on, you can kind of see how our peak towns is gonna look like already. So let's start on more bedrooms right here. Boom. This is the bedroom corners. Work on that. Boom, like that. And then we're trying to make our way up. Our way up, we can't actually use... The only way to have like a pretty efficient way up here without having to use like ladders or like ladder hatches is using this floor frame here, triangle one. The reason why we use a triangle floor is because if we use a full one, people can hide from your peak downs down here, which we don't want. And the reason why we don't do it on the bottom one is we won't be able to place a roof. So we want to actually do it on the higher foundation one. Let's place on the top. Then we can place a roof so that we can actually open our bunker. So now we can upgrade this to stone. And this is going to be our turret pod later. So we can just leave it like that. Boom. Like that. Usually you would put a hobo barrel or like a furnace right here. But that's also kind of expensive early game. So I'll just put a roof here. And then that's how you get to the very top. And we're gonna place this thing here. We're gonna do that on the other side. Remember the top one? Boom. So now everything on the outside is a floor stack higher. This is when we're going to start our peak downs. It's actually really easy. So just think about it like this. You're gonna put full triangles, full floors from the 2x1, and then we're going to put floor frames on the outside ones. So just go around in a circle and place these place the full ones all the way around the 2x1, like that. Boom, like that, and then upgrade them. And then from here, we are going to use the wall frames going up again on the squares here. From here, we have some bedrooms already, and we have all the peak downs that we need. From here, we are going to put triangle floor frames on this side and this side, like that. And then now we're gonna put triangle floor frames. Oh, actually, no, you do the top part first. I forgot. Oh my god. Dude, it's so weird. Sometimes, like, I don't know. Depending on the terrain, there's different combinations that you can use for these ones. And then you want to place this one first. Put it here. Put it here. Boom. 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 It's our wall frames. Basically, you just want to go around and see which part works for your terrain and which part doesn't. Now that this is ready here, see how on the one that I showed for the min-max ones, I was able to place these, but on this one I can't. It's just weird. Some of them work, some of them don't. You just gotta make do with what you can get. Okay. Peak downs are pretty much done. Put a doorway here. Put a doorway here. One thing actually that you want to be careful about is because the terrain could be weird, you might not be able to place this to actually secure this thing. Like this. If that makes sense. When you're making the third floor, I would actually recommend just leaving this open or just making it wood so you can like break it if it is a problem. And then only when you have this floor done, like that. Now what you're gonna do is you want to secure this as fast as possible. Just go around in a circle and fill the higher foundation floors all the way around like that. And see, you can place this. If I had this, I won't be able to place it. So place this first and then put the bottom one later. If you have the metal to do it, I would recommend just making it all metal, but chances are you're gonna be struggling on metal at this point of the wipe, so just use stone. So now we are fully secured in our base, and again, these doorways right here, if you want these peaks, you want to make sure it's actually doorways. And it's actually nice to have this and put doors here so that you can have a fast way out and have like kind of like semi windows that you can shoot from as early game raid defense. So you almost always want to have these as doorways. And just put doors. You can even put like wooden doors for now. So now if the doorway is on this side, we're actually gonna put the doorway on the third floor like this for the bedrooms. And then again, if it's this way, the doorway's gonna face this way all the way around in a circle. From here, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna have the same thing here as well. Boom, like that. So basically, everything is done on this part. Once you have enough and you want to actually have these window floors, it doesn't cost a lot at all. It's just 3 things that you need to upgrade to make this work. You can even make this wood if you wanted. It's 150 stone per roof. And this is only 75, so it's 375 stone to make this into a peak like that. And at this point, it's very strong. I will say at this point, once you have like, I don't know, 2 bedrooms with 2 kits in them. Like let's say you have one over here, your buddy has one over here, and then you put a door, you put a door here, you put 2 doors here, like that. And then you just make it so that you put like a wall frame here, and then just place these all around like that so that it's at least segmented into 4 different parts like that. I think you're already pretty secure. What do we use? We use 1850 metal, 63 high qual, and 58,000 stone to have a fully functional base. This is a high qual bunker. If you want to make this high qual and make the core into 23 rockets instead, you just come out here and then you just upgrade these into metal. Boom. Upgrade these. Upgrade the foundations, obviously. You probably want to make this into metal before you upgrade, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because there's more honeycomb here. Like that. If you didn't upgrade that one, you can just upgrade this. I would upgrade this foundation, and I would upgrade this foundation. Yeah, we're pretty much done. Once you have garage doors, this is when you would replace it with this. You would do this. You would do this like that. And you also want to make sure that this also had the top floor here so that you can actually use this thing to destroy it or have the bunker. This will be metal. This will be metal. At this point, you probably have enough to either research a ladder or find one. So you would just use this to go up here. So yeah, like I was saying, on the first one that I showed, the doorway was a full doorway like that. But because early game, you want to have a second floor as fast as possible. That's why we made this version where the doorway's one step lower. So the doorway actually shares this floor and this floor. This is the less ideal version, but if you want to have security like right away, a second floor, then you want to build it like this. Later on, you would like upgrade this, the stone, obviously, and etc. But this base is already defendable online. 50k stone, 5,000 metal, 70 high qual, and your base is pretty much complete. Anyways, enjoy. This base is by no means a beginner base. It is not something you should build if you are new to the game. It is not that easy to build. However, if you do know how to play and you build it a few times, it is probably the cheapest, most modular, easy to set up early game base you can build for online raid defense and offline raid defense. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. You can put it down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe. hJune 2. There's new videos every Wednesday and every Sunday. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out.